Hi, it's Penny Black and Jill Foster here for another Brushstroke Basics video, and I will be demonstrating how to do some fun no-line watercoloring and brushstroke stamping with our adorable stamp called Bundled Up. I just love this little snowman. And here's a look at that snowman stamp, as well as an idea of how you can use the stamped panel that we'll be creating today to create a one-layer card. Real quick before I begin, I'm just going to pop up the supplies that I'll be using to do the stamping and painting on our main panel. And I will put this back up at the very end of the video. So if you want to look at anything in more detail, it will be right up on screen. And you can just hit pause at that time to look at all of the stamps, the inks, the colors, the paper, the paintbrushes, everything that I'm using will be listed on that. To begin, I am stamping this bundled up cling stamp in my Misty stamp positioning tool, and I'm stamping onto hot press watercolor paper. This is a great watercolor paper for stamping these brushstroke stamps on because it is nice and smooth, so you can capture all of the detail of the stamp. And I just stamped this using Ranger archival ink in the color of shadow gray. Basically what I'm doing is I just wanted to get this stamped impression onto my panel, and then I'm going to go back and add all of my color right on top of that gray stamping. So this, instead of stamping an outline and painting in the lines, you're just stamping the image and basically painting on the lines. And what's great about these brushstroke stamps is they show you where to add all of your shading. They show you where the highlights should be, the areas of light and the areas of dark. So you can get this beautiful hand-painted no-line watercolor look without having to do too much thinking about things. I am doing my painting on top using Distress ink reinkers used as watercolors. You could also use your standard watercolors, any type of watercolors that you like. You could press your Distress ink pads onto a palette and pick up that color and paint with it. I like the intensity of using the reinkers, and so that's why I've chosen to use those, but you can really use whatever is handy and what you have in your stash. Now I did stamp this using an archival ink, and one reason I like to do that is that the archival inks are waterproof. So when I go back now and add all of my painting on top, what I have stamped is not going to start to bleed or blend at all when I add my either water on top or these wet paints. And for me, that just gives me a lot of control. And because it's in a light gray, I can add whatever colors on top that I want. So I only needed to use one color to just quickly and easily stamp it, and then I can just begin my painting. So all I'm doing here is just adding my paints on top using those Distress Reinker colors and coloring it in. It's just such a fun and happy stamp to work with, and a very easy technique that really gives such a hand-painted, one-of-a-kind look to your finished card. So I'm just going to continue to paint here and turn on a little Christmas music, and I will be back at the end of the video. So here's a look at that finished stamped and painted panel. Now this was done on a 5x7 panel of watercolor paper to make a 5x7 card, and to finish off my card I masked around the outer edges and added distress inks to the interior portion of the card, did a little stamping, and also added a stamped and die cut sentiment. And I will link down in the YouTube description box below to another video that demonstrates how to do that style of background. I thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also connect with Penny Black on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, as well as our website and blog. And I'll link to all of those for you down in the YouTube description box too. Happy stamping!